Welcome. In this video, we will go through the execution process of Python, how Python language is interpreted behind the scenes, what are the stages from which the source code is executed and compiled into a machine code. Let's understand. The common mistake learners do at the first stage of learning any programming language that they start learning programming language but not understand how it actually execute behind the scenes, and that's why they confuse in error thrown by Python interpreter. Let's understand the process of execution. There are some different stages in which the Python source code is converted into a machine code. The first stage is compilation and the second one is interpretation. Let's see what is compilation. Now you have a question that Python is an interpreted language, so how the compilation process comes in a picture? Hey, so I'm not say that Python is a compiled language. It is an interpreted language, but you don't know the actual meaning of compilation. Let's see what is compilation. Compilation is a process of translating the Python source code into a platform independent bytecode. Compilation is just a translation process. So what is a bytecode? A bytecode is not a machine code and not executed by CPU itself. It is an object code that generated from the translation process, that is compilation process. It is not an actual code that run by any operating system, but it is a bytecode that understand by the Python virtual machine. We will see next in a video. It is a platform independent code that then interpreted by Python virtual machine. It is not an actual machine code that run by an operating system, but it is an independent code that run by the Python virtual machine, which is comes with the Python interpreter. The output of the compilation process is a bytecode stored in a .pyc file. The file is internally handled by the Python itself. If you want to see this file, there are certain commands that you can see the file. It is an object file. Let's see. The code editor generate and source code which is stored in a Python file .py extension. Then the Python interpreter comes with three things. The first is a compiler, the second one which is a .pyc file, and third one is a virtual machine. The code editor, we write whatever ID we have used, it generate a source file which we save with the .py extension. After that we will just run a command python the file name, and the file is goes in a compiler. The compiler is comes with the Python interpreter. It is just a program which translate the source code into a bytecode, and the compiler generate a .pyc file which is a object file which is run on a virtual machine. Hey, what is virtual machine? Now here the stage 2 is comes in a picture, that is interpretation. Let's see what is Python virtual machine. The Python virtual machine is a program that provides the environment to execute Python code. It converts the bytecode into a machine specific binary code that understood by an operating system or CPU. The bytecode which is generated by the compilation process, which is a platform independent code, is run by or interpreted by the Python virtual machine. The Python virtual machine is a operating system dependent software which comes with the Python interpreter which is installed on any operating system. And the Python virtual machine is a main component of Python interpreter which makes the Python independent language, because the Python compiler generate the bytecode which is not directly, or the Python is directly not interact with the operating system which is interact with the Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine is restrict the Python code to interact directly with machine by PVM directly interact with machine. Okay, it makes Python a platform independent language that not depend on any machine. Platform independence is one of the feature of Python. Let's see. Now, after the interpretation by the virtual machine, it returns a machine code that executed by CPU and runs a final output. Now the bytecode is executed and interpreted by the Python virtual machine, and now it generates the machine code that is specific to the operating system, and we generate the final output. That's how the everything is work in Python internally. That's the execution diagram. The source code, which is compiled and generated into bytecode, which is then goes to the Python interpreter, converted into a machine specific code, and then it returns a actual final output that is user can see. Okay, so thank you. For more videos, subscribe to our channel.